Update. Am I the a-hole? My mom is marrying the guy she cheated on my dad with and forcing me to move to different country. Original post. I'm 15 male, and my life is completely falling apart right now. I need advice because I feel stuck between my parents, and I don't know what to do. My parents divorced 3 years ago because my mom, 44 female, cheated on my dad, 44 male, with one of her clients, a really wealthy guy. It destroyed our family. My mom fought hard in the divorce and got primary custody of me and my sister, 17 female. My dad got visitation rights, but we only see him every other weekend and some holidays. I was so angry at my mom when it all happened. I couldn't believe she did that to my dad, but at the same time, she has always been a good mom to me, kind, caring, always there when I need her. My sister doesn't even care about the cheating. She's just like, they're adults, it's their business, and moved on. I wish I could be that chill, but I can't. My mom has been dating this guy, the one she cheated with, for the past 3 years. A few months ago, she finally introduced us to him properly. Honestly, he seems nice. He's polite, tries to connect with me and treats us well. But I hate him. Every time I look at him, I think about how he destroyed my family. Now here's where everything gets worse. They just announced they're getting married this summer. I honestly didn't think it would actually happen. I thought maybe they'd just keep dating or eventually break up. But no, it's real. And they're making us move to another country where he lives. Just like that. My whole life here. My friends, my school, everything. Gone. I told my mom I'm not okay with this. I can't live under the same roof as the man who destroyed my parents' marriage. I don't want to leave my life here. But she keeps saying I'll have a better life there, go to private school, and have more opportunities because he has money. She says I need to be okay with this, like I don't have a choice. Here's the thing though, my dad found out about the move, and he's pissed. He told me he doesn't want me to go. He said if I want to stay here with him, he'll fight for custody. He says he can't stand the thought of me living across the world with that man and that I belong here with him. Part of me really wants to stay with my dad. I love him, and I know this is killing him. He's already lost so much because of what my mom did. My mom would be heartbroken and furious if I chose my dad. My sister is fine with moving and thinks I'm being dramatic. My mom says she has legal custody, and I'm going whether I like it or not. She says if my dad tries to fight it, it'll just make everything messy and hurt everyone. She keeps trying to convince me that this move is good for me. I feel so torn. I don't want to abandon my dad, but I also don't want to destroy my relationship with my mom. I can't imagine living with my mom and her new husband in some foreign country, but I also don't know if living with my dad full-time would actually work out. My sister thinks I should just go with my mom and stop being difficult. She says my dad will be fine and that I'm making this harder than it needs to be. I feel like it's unfair to expect me to be okay with her new marriage and to live with a man who destroyed my parents' marriage. I don't want her to marry him. Also, she has full custody and doesn't want to give it up. I don't know what to choose. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. There's always the chance to scream at border passport control that you are being trafficked against your will to a foreign country. That would be funny. I don't want to see my mom in jail, but yeah, I could do the funniest thing with her boyfriend. Not the a-hole. Unfortunately, it sounds like you will have to choose. If you go with your mother, you will resent her, and things might get worse. Ignore your mother telling you things will be messy and hurt everyone. She honestly sounds like she's being selfish and just wants to protect her affair partner, not you. If you want to stay, you need to tell your dad so he can fight for you. And your sister sounds like an a-hole of epic proportions, so you can ignore her completely. Sister giving the vibes of being someone expecting a lot of money to be spent on her from the new rich stepfather and mother to alleviate their guilt. Not the a-hole. My sister is always on my mom's team. She has a good relationship with my dad, but she always chooses my mom's side. Edit. Oh my god. I found out it's illegal for my mom to move while holding custody of me. On the other hand, she is never going to give up custody, so I think she can't move. I don't think they are going to marry either. Hopefully everything will stay the same. Now for the first update. So I posted about my situation yesterday and got a ton of responses. Thanks to everyone who replied and supported me. But I need to clear some things up because a lot of people misunderstood the situation and thought I hate my mom and just want to live with my dad. It's not that simple at all. My mom is actually my favorite parent. I know that sounds weird given everything, but it's true. After the divorce, we got really close. She's incredibly sweet, kind, and caring to me. She gives me everything I need and more. She has her own high-paying job. She's not some gold digger depending on her rich boyfriend like some comments assumed. She's successful on her own. I love my mom so much. The thought of living without her kills me. But at the same time, part of me hates what she did to my dad. I've told her this, and she always comforts me and says she did what was best for us. I'm so conflicted about it. My dad and I also have a great relationship. We see each other every weekend and have fun together. He's not broke or struggling like people assumed. He works in finance and has a high-paying job. He's well established. He pays half of my expenses. Someone in the comments said he could afford a good lawyer to stop the move, and I think that's probably true. So I'm not trying to escape my mom to live with my dad. I love them both. I just don't want to move to another country. And I really don't want to live under the same roof as the man who destroyed my parents' marriage. I'm not asking for a better lifestyle. Yeah, my mom's boyfriend is rich and I'd go to private school and all that. But I don't care about that stuff. I don't want to live in a completely different world, in a different country, away from everything I know. My parents were together since college. For most of my childhood, they were happy. But a few years before the divorce, things got bad. They fought constantly, and it was horrible to witness. I saw my mom break my dad's nose once. My dad was very vocal, and they'd scream at each other. They slept in separate bedrooms for about a year. I don't fully understand why things fell apart between them, but they did. My dad filed for divorce after he found out my mom cheated. My mom didn't actually want the divorce. My dad was the one who wanted out. But during the divorce proceedings, my mom fought hard for custody and ended up with primary custody of me while my dad got visitation. The current situation. Yesterday and today, I talked with my mom and dad. She told me flat out she's not giving up custody. My dad is not okay with me going and wants to fight it. I feel trapped between them. I can't live without my mom, but I also can't go that far away from my dad. The biggest issue is that I cannot live with that man every single day. Seeing him at the dinner table, having him act like my stepdad, it makes me sick. What I honestly want is no changes. I want things to stay as they are now. We could stay here, and my mom could postpone her wedding for a few years and still date him. I could see both my parents anytime I want. I have many friends here, and I'm happy with them. I might sound selfish, but I just want my mom to postpone her wedding. I'm Spanish and live in Spain. My mom wants to move to Switzerland. I'm a 15-year-old boy. Edit. I talked to my mom and dad separately again. Somehow, I convinced them to meet each other tomorrow, and I want to tell them everything I feel. They agreed to it. OP, you're still not the a-hole. Just because your mom has primary custody doesn't mean she can just up and move you guys. Your dad has to sign off and give his approval, and from your update, he doesn't approve of the move. Yeah, nobody's going to win, and hopefully everything stays as it is now. I'm happy with that, and my mom can postpone her wedding. I think she will do that. She is lying when she said she did all of this for you. She had an affair for herself. She broke your dad's nose? How is that for you? I know you love your mom, OP, but she's not a great person objectively speaking. She gives me everything I need and more. While your mom loves you and your sister in her own way, you have to open your eyes and see how toxic she is. 1. She broke your dad's nose in an argument. 2. She cheated on your dad and got upset when she was served divorce papers. 3. She used both you and your sister to hurt him by taking full and primary custody in retaliation, despite your dad doing nothing wrong to you. 4. She wants to take you away to her lover's country to isolate you from your support system. 5. Basically wants you to see her lover as your new father, despite your real dad being involved in your life. Also, there's a chance either your mom and her fiancé could cheat on each other, and her fiancé will kick the three of you out either way. You would be stranded in a foreign country with just the clothes on your back. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Second update. I sat down and actually talked to both my parents face to face and told them how I feel. I asked both of them to meet and talk, and today it happened. I want to start by saying I went in there determined to make one thing clear. I am not a toy they can plan around. I have feelings and opinions, and this is my life too. I told them straight up that I don't want to move to another country. I don't want to start over with no friends, no familiar faces, nothing. But more than that, I can't move somewhere where I can't just see my dad on weekends whenever I want. That's not a life I want. My dad was firm. He said he's not going to allow my mom to take me out of the country. He said what many people told me in the comments, that legally she probably can't just do this without his consent. He said he'll go back to court if he has to. My mom got emotional. She said she loves me more than anything and can't imagine living without me or my sister. She offered compromises. I could visit my dad during all holidays, stay with him for entire summers, and she'd even let me come back sometimes just to see him. She talked about private school, opportunities, and a good future. But something just snapped in me when they started arguing with each other again. I got angry, and I said everything I'd been holding inside for years. I told her that the reason I'm in this impossible position is because of her choices. If she hadn't cheated on my dad, they never would have divorced, and none of this would be happening. I told her that out of love for her, I stayed silent all these years while she dated the man who destroyed our family. I never said anything because I love her and didn't want to hurt her. But I never expected her to actually marry him. That was the line I never thought she'd cross. I told her I cannot live in a home with that man, every single day, sitting across from him at dinner, watching him act like my stepdad. I can't do it. And I told her if she really loves me, she won't force me to move countries and she won't marry him. I told her that if she goes through with this, our relationship will never be the same, that I'm not staying with her. I told her she's being selfish, that a good future and private school mean nothing if I'm miserable and far from my dad. And then I said something I really meant. I love her. I feel safer with her than anyone. But I cannot replace my dad with her boyfriend and pretend to be a happy family. My dad is my dad. Nobody is replacing him. My dad warned her again that he'll take it to court. My mom just kept saying, think about his future. Think about the school. Think about the opportunities. Nothing got resolved. Both of them left the conversation not okay. On the car ride home, my mom was completely silent. Then I noticed she was crying. I felt bad for her. When we got home, she went straight to her room and locked the door. That was 2 hours ago. She hasn't come out. And now I'm sitting here feeling terrible. Because here's the thing that's messing with my head. I think I might have just blown up her wedding. If she cancels the wedding or gives up the move, her boyfriend is going to be furious. Their whole relationship could fall apart, and she'll have given up everything for me. Part of me feels selfish and horrible for that. She's my mom. I love her. I don't actually want her to be lonely or unhappy. But another part of me is relieved, because it's looking more and more like I might actually get to stay, with my dad around, my friends, my life. Please stop calling my mom a bad person. She's not. She's genuinely one of the kindest, most caring people in my life. She's been my everything since the divorce. She has her own successful career. She doesn't need this man for money or security. I think, honestly, she's just lonely. I've seen her cry alone at home more times than I can count. She loved my dad deeply. They were together since college. Whatever happened between them, I know she didn't just throw that away easily. Sometimes I think about how nice it would be if my dad could somehow forgive her. I know that sounds naive and maybe even unfair to my dad. But from where I'm standing, watching both my parents be unhappy, that's just where my heart goes. Actually, this all happened yesterday. I wrote this post yesterday. My mom was crying and sad, but she's still good to me, and I'm doing okay. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my mother-in-law money and saying she isn't my responsibility? So, as the title says, my mother-in-law asked me for money, and I said no. For more context, I'm a single mom with a 4-year-old child. My husband died about 2 years ago. My mother-in-law, Gina, and her mother, Beth, are the other 2 people in the story. I work part-time and do side gigs to make ends meet. My part-time job didn't pay me at the end of January, but that's not what this post is about. However, because of this, I am behind on a lot of payments. They said they'll pay me at the end of February for everything. I've had to take some desperate measures to make money. The side gigs have been slow and almost non-existent so far, and I have very little money at the moment. My mother-in-law, Gina, is divorced, in her 60s, and lives with her 80-year-old mother. Gina has a habit of asking for money for, in order, doctor visits, medication, medical items, and food. Granted, she is very sick. She is on oxygen 24/7. Her lungs are failing, and she is morbidly obese. In the past, I used to help when I could, but I can't anymore. They still hate me for that, and I'm reminded of it constantly. I also suspect she's addicted to painkillers. The problem is that Gina and Beth always have a fridge and freezer stocked full of food. They buy jumbo shampoo bottles and have 3 in the house at all times. They both receive pensions. They are certainly making more money than I am. They depend on government health care, which, while not the best, still provides what they need. Beth owns the house they live in and a car. This morning, Gina called me to ask for money for a doctor visit. Note that they have a car and both can drive. And Beth always ensures it's at least 50% full of gas. That's just who she is. Beth doesn't want to take Gina to the doctor, and now it's my problem. I wasn't even asked to take her. I was just asked for money for an Uber, snacks, and whatever else Gina wanted. So I said no. I told her I'm sorry, but I can't help because I don't have the money. She proceeded to yell at me about how I was disrespecting her for not helping, and even went as far as to say, I need to take my child out of daycare to give Gina the money. Then Beth got on the phone and told me, it's time for you to be a responsible daughter and take care of Gina. I asked her how exactly that works, since she isn't even my biological mother. Beth lost it. She yelled at me about how I should take care of Gina, because Beth already gave her away when she got married 40 years ago. I said, Beth, I didn't give birth to Gina. She isn't my responsibility, and she isn't even my mother. I will never take her in and take care of her. You need to stop asking me for money when you have more than I do, and even have more food than I do. Then I ended the call. Since then, Gina has been calling me all sorts of terrible things. She even said she can't believe her perfect son married a toxic woman like me. Then her other kids got involved and said I'm abandoning them all. So, am I the a-hole? Should I make a plan to get her the money? Then her other kids got involved and said I'm abandoning them all. Not the a-hole, oh no. Her other children can give her money if they are so invested. I was thinking about that too, but the one son called me when I cut them off financially and yelled at me that now I'm putting him in financial trouble. Darling, you are in financial trouble. You're only responsible for your child and yourself. Do not let them make you think otherwise. That's my thoughts too, but not sure if I lost my mind thinking that.